All right, I want to talk about the Garcia Haney fight. I should have saw that coming. My gut feeling was, man, as much of a jerk as Ryan Garcia is, he has the power, and Haney doesn't have a power punch, and his chin could be suspect. So I said, man, if he catches him, it could be a problem, but he probably won't because he'll box him. But I saw the weight differential when he went overweight. I have zero respect for fighters that can't make weight after training for months, knowing you have to be at a certain weight. I Castillo when he beat Corrales, I never counted as a win. That was just complete garbage. But I'm gonna say the good about Ryan. I'm gonna comment on both fighters and where they can go from here. The good about Ryan Garcia and the bad, and my list of issues with that guy. All right. The good is, he always knew he was a super talented guy. They say he just has a left hook. He has a good right hand, and he showed it. He surprised Haney with rights to his head. But he started out, he staggered Haney, and he was able to. He didn't use the jab like he should have, but he was able to, when he fought spurts, he was able to really hurt him and catch him every time, catch him and blast him with rights and lefts and shots. And he put him down the canvas about 6 times during the whole fight. I mean, I know they didn't count them all, but Harvey Dock, the great referee, one of the best in the business, I hope I get to interview him. I know I'm gonna try to see if I can meet up with him this week. I'm gonna try to do an interview with him. My guy Derek Rolland's gonna get a one-on-one with him. Um, he because Haney's kind of flopping down, it's hard to tell if it's a knockdown or not. But Garcia stupidly just punched him for no reason in between the clinch. He lost a point. They could have gave him a warning, but it would have mattered because I said it was either going to be Haney making a comeback and making it a draw, or eventually Garcia's going to knock this dude out. And he every time he popped him, he hurt him. And he fought in spurts, but it was good enough spurts to make it a solid win. It was a great win, really. It goes to the scorecard. He Now get to the bad about him because he kind of gave away his fourth round, but it didn't matter this time. And Haney gets beat. So that's the good. The bad is he's just fighters are cocky, which I understand the confidence or whatever, but he's such a ridiculous jerk. It's just he's telling the I mean, it's when it's competitive. He's trying to tell the guy's corner to stop the fight. It's just he's a sore winner. He's a classless jerk. Very talented, but you could tell by his behavior when the good times are rolling that he's going to have a hard time dealing with success. Real hard time. But he did win the fight, but it was just so classless. I don't know if he shook his hand after the fight. He was just I didn't want to hear the press conference. I didn't want to hear what's coming out of his mouth because it's gonna be disingenuous and usually hot garbage. But I do congratulate him. He got his win. This is the problem. Either it'll be a rematch because they're gonna find the path of least resistance right now, Oscar's team. Because they know that you can't go in there against Tank. He'll get blown away again. Because Tank is not the mental midget. Tank is tough. And Tank will turn Ryan into a mental midget in the ring. Ryan Garcia is Nassim Hamed. Super talented, big clown, always going to come in to fight overconfident. And they're so talented, sometimes they'll win, but a lot of times that's going to be their downfall. That's going to be his downfall unless he changes. And then that stupid shoulder roll where he's turning his back. If Haney had power to knock him out, turns his back away. That's not Floyd. That's just you just being stupid. And Derek James said we're not going to do the shoulder roll. Ryan Garcia said I'm going to do a shoulder roll. That relationship's not going to last because Ryan Garcia is going to do whatever he wants to do. And you could tell in the 12th round, Ryan Garcia is celebrating in between the corner. Hey, I got the fight. And Derek James like, stay focused, man. We got another round left. And because he knew Haney didn't have no power. So he could act stupid, which he did. And what he's going to do, he's going to call everyone out and fight no one. Because this is boxing right now. That's the only issue I had. I said, if Ryan Garcia wins, it's going to be a problem. He's going to be belligerent. He's going to call out Crawford. He's going to call out Fondora. He's going to make fun of Shakur. He won't fight him. He'll make fun of Tank, talking about you're too scared to rematch me, you're chicken. And then they'll try to offer him a deal. He'll turn it down. He'll knowing him as stupid as he is, he'll probably challenge Triple G and Canelo and Benavidez and just say, I can move up. I can move up to 175. I'm that good. And you just watch how stupid he's going to act and idiotic he's going to act. Hate to be like this, but just tell the truth. Sports radio, I got to tell the truth. I'm going to have Derek Rolland on. He's boxed before. I'm going to find his opinion, but he's calling everyone out and fighting no one. But I tell you what could happen, and this could help Haney. Because of how easy he was able to just hit Haney, he may be like, you know what? Instead of fighting the tomato can or some C-level fighters and try to run and take clout for that, like I'm fighting Terrence Crawford, I'm going to go in there and fight Haney again because it's another big payday. We can hype it up. I could clown him and I could go out there and win again. And then I could kind of relax the rest of my career and fight B fighters and talk about him the greatest of all time. And Oscar knows that. Oscar, I wondered if if he'd have lost, he'd have just cashed Ryan out. But now that he won, Oscar and Bernard and his team could pimp this as long as they can, as long as he don't run into boots, because he's got to move up to 147. He can't make that weight unless he's diligent and tries to make weight. Didn't win the title. He's 143. That's ridiculous. But if he could fight at 147, then there's Boots Ennis. There's a couple other fighters that are good. But what De La Hoya might do is just hope Boots Ennis moves up out of the division and fights some B or C level fighters and keep this money train going, put him on some TV shows, Handsome Kid, commercials and advertising and pimp this as long as they can until he runs into a really good composed fighter that's going to knock him out when he does that stupid shoulder roll. Because he's not going to change. He's not going to listen to Derek James. He'll listen to him a little bit, but he's going to do his own thing because he's so narcissistic. He's going to be there. But I did want to give him credit for the win. It didn't shock the world. Let's stop. Now beating Tank Davis, that might have shocked the world. But beating Haney, that was a good win because a lot of people, including myself, thought Haney would box him. I didn't think Haney would knock him out. He has no power. What David Haney has the hope for, and he might get his wish, is a rematch because they might see it as they're looking for easy paydays. And they might look at this rematch as an easy payday. If it was a rugged fight, they're walking away from that. But the fact that Haney was winning most of the fight because of his boxing and his jabbing, but he never really hurt him, he could say, okay, I can go in there and walk right past him, walk right through him, and get him out of there this time. So that would be good I'll respect him somewhat if he rematches Haney. But I just got this bad feeling that they're going to pimp Ryan Garcia out. But I think Haney has a stake because I saw his father talking and saying he can move up. He can't move up. He'll get knocked out by everyone at 147. 140 is a challenge. The guy that nobody really wants to fight is a focused Teofimo Lopez because Teofimo Lopez beats Ryan Garcia. That's because he'll be able to deal with what's coming at him, and he'll knock Devin Haney out. That's the only issue that Haney has as champ. He's got to hope that maybe Teofimo moves up because I think Teofimo's going to be avoided. He's definitely going to be avoided by Ryan Garcia. They'll go back and forth on Twitter, but they'll fake like it's a negotiation, but there'll be no fight with Teofimo. Haney and Teofimo could fight if Ryan wants to kind of move up or fight C or B minus level fighters. Teofimo and Haney, that could be a fight that's possible. Haney will fight whoever if he gets beat. But Tank, this shows you how good Tank is. Tank is so good. Tank's got to keep fighting. I think he beats Martin. I know everybody say how Martin is how good he is. Martin didn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. The only guy I think Tank could have a lot of trouble with is Shakur. Tank knocks out Haney. Tank beats Ryan Garcia again if they fight. He beats Ryan Garcia every time they fight. He does that shoulder roll, Tank's knocking him out. Or hit him with the body shot, they'll go down. Um, Tank and Teofimo would be interesting. I'm telling you, Teofimo is the fly in the ointment right now. I would love to see him in a big fight. Okay, that was my rant on boxing as far as that fight that was a couple of weeks ago at Ryan Garcia win and how I felt about him. I didn't talk about any of the PED stuff because I wanted to get all the facts, and it seems like he's been cleared somewhat. I don't know if they're still looking at everything, but it looks like he's clear. That doesn't take away how I feel about him going overweight and beating, knowing you could beat Haney. And maybe he beats Haney anyway because the matchup wasn't that great. But just me saying, "Well, I was high," just just this clown stuff that I can't stomach because he's a talent, but he's got clowns have expiration dates. You look at every clown that ever fought. There's a time they get hot, they're in their prime, they're always kind of out of overweight or out of shape because they love their hype, so they're training. They're not doing Floyd Mayweather, whether it's Roy Jones kind of training. So you're gonna get that. And they're always super overconfident. They talk too much. They're too belligerent because guys talk, and there's this okay. That's over. That's below the belt. Unfortunately, I got to put Adrian Broner there, which I don't because I do. I got to meet him and interview him, and I like the guy, but he was in that clowns. He was in clown show mode too because he's overconfident Maidana, overconfidence against Porter, overconfident against Mickey Garcia, and overconfidence against Pacquiao, and got beat every time and didn't put out input. And it's just unnecessary. The unnecessary comments. It's always something with the clowns and the clown show. Jorge Paez was a clown, but he didn't like talk. He just came in the ring like a clown and he went out like it won when Del Hoya finally beat him up. He had an expiration date. He came in here, he was hot, he was on ABC Sports a lot, and he was gone. I think Oscar Del Hoya wants to pimp this as long as he can. And then, like I said, I told you what was going to happen. Garcia's going to call out everyone and fight no one. Now he's calling out Spence because maybe he thinks that's an easy battle. Is he going to move all the way up? He's not calling out Boots. He might call out Boots. He called out Crawford. He might call out Usyk. He's so ridiculous. He'll call out people, and I highly doubt if he's fighting anybody. He might fight a no name, beat the guy up, and then go out there and brag about he's the best pound for pound after one big win against Haney. I know I've followed boxing, and I'm a historian. I know boxing from the 1900s to now, from Henry Armstrong and Willie Pep and the rest of them. I know boxing. So I know how this goes and how the dedicated ones last longer and the clowns don't last. And he couldn't fight Boots anyway because that fake shoulder roll, he would get knocked out. He can't fight Tank again and do that shoulder roll where he's leaning toward Tank's left hand where he got pulverized the last time. He'll call and taunt Tank and make fun of him, but he won't fight him again. I doubt it. I'm surprised he wouldn't just try to fight Haney again, but he probably feels Haney's now beneath him the way he beat him. And that fight was close because Haney boxed him well when Ryan Garcia was taking time off, not throwing punches, which he did a lot. When he threw him, he was explosive. And of course, he's bigger and stronger. And he does have a beautiful left hook. And Haney ran to the left hook. And Haney doesn't have the greatest of chins when he gets popped a lot. And he did. So I give him credit for that win, but And Canelo, I give him credit for beating Munguia. But that wasn't the fight. Everybody wants him to fight Benavidez, and he won't do it. And he won't. And he believes he's above boxing. That's the major issue I have with Canelo. And he loves beating up little guys. Munguia was smaller. The younger Charlo was moving up and smaller. He loves fighting smaller guys. He's at 168. Benavidez, I mean, Benavidez was 168. He moves up because he knows that Canelo didn't want to fight him. And Canelo's trying to call him in the ring. And he doesn't, Benavidez doesn't want that clown show smoke. So he's like, I'm not doing it. You're not going to fight me. You're going to talk junk. He'll say I could beat those two guys in the same night. Well, go fight the one. Of course, everybody knew you were going to beat Munguia because he hits okay, and he did do well. He's marketable down the line, but you knew that his face was there to be hit all night long. So you knew it was an easy clout chasing win. And that's the issue I have with a lot of the boxers. Tyson Fury too, fighting an MMA guy, getting beat by an MMA guy, and now he fights Usyk, who's smaller, but he should win. But Usyk, if he has Tyson Fury and beats Joshua, geez, I give Usyk credit. He will fight anyone. I like them fight anyone guys. Benavidez is going to do that. And Bivol and Beterbiev, when they fight, that's different. I'm not putting I don't know if I put Ryan pound for pound off a win. I definitely Canelo, but he's not number one. He's not better than Naomi. Naomi was a machine. He hasn't lost. He got blasted his last fight, got up and just tore through his competitors, beating everybody in his wake. The sad part is he may have to move up to a weight class where he could get beat. 130. 126 is about as high as he could go. He's just not blessed with a great competition, but the competition is good and he blows them away because he's a predator. He has a great offensive machine with the jabs, how patient he is. He can counterpunch. He can hit off the jab. He's got a left hook. He's got a right cross. He's a terrific body puncher. He's not, a lot of predators aren't the best defensive fighters in the world. That's when he got clocked and he got clocked hard, got up and shook it off. And after being a little dazed and just blew his opponent away. I love Naomi. That's my guy. And Naomi, if he's at 130, he'd have fought everyone. He don't seem like a type that'll duck anyone. He fought everybody in his division, mowed them down. That's what I'm talking about. If there was a Benavidez in his division, he's like, let's fight tomorrow. Let's get the money right. You get what you get, and I get what I get, and let's do it. And you would have that. Now, Canelo wants to fight Crawford. He wants Crawford to go all the way up in weight class so he can beat up another little guy. Now, because he's so much bigger, he should win as great as Crawford is. But if Crawford embarrassed him and won, his legacy would really take a hit. I think he's a great fighter, but I'm not going all-time great until I see the fight that you needed to do. Because he never fought Charlo or Andre, and Benavidez fought Andre, walked through him. And that's the guy. That's the Mexican monster. Versus Canelo would have been a mega fight. You're trying to get a mega fight against a little guy to stand up and clout chase and say you're above boxing. I'd never had to fight the Mexican monster because I am so much better than everybody. Now, Floyd Mayweather didn't have to fight you that time. He took you on and cooked you. And you were younger and you moved on and but he'll get my respect if he win or lose, if he takes on the Mexican monster. He does it. I'm not giving him clout for beating up another little guy. I'm harsh, but I'm fair.